Ross Coulthart claims there's a crisis in Europe over drones, but at least one person saying, not so fast. My name is Chris. I had a stroke, and now I love aliens. Let's get to the video.
The Strokeonaut. Finding the truth.
This information comes from a recent episode of Reality Check. We'll play the clip of what he said, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. Roll the tape.
We have an ongoing crisis now in Europe. Some of Belgium's airspace was closed yesterday and probably still is, as far as I know, because of drone incursions over all certain parts of Western Europe. Airports are being closed. And what's interesting is the electromagnetic pulse weapons that are normally used to down these so-called drones, let's call them drones, aren't working. So whatever is happening is there is a national security crisis right now in Western Europe where successive governments are finding they cannot do anything to respond to so-called drone incursions over their territory. And people are pointing the finger at Russia. Is there any evidence, any solid, hard evidence that Russia is responsible for this? I'm no apologist for an authoritarian dictator like Vladimir Putin, but the simple fact is no one has presented any hard evidence to show that the Russians are involved. It's based on speculation. Who or what is responsible for the drone incursions in Western Europe? These are the kind of issues, I think, that justify why UAPs need to be start taking seriously by governments, particularly the US government.
So, in response to that, in a tweet, Patrick from Vetted said the following, and I'll put it up on the screen. I'm in Europe, flown through 3 airports in the last few days. Not a national crisis in Europe. A sad emoji. Good Lord. Haven't heard one single person here mention it at all. So that's on the screen. I'll put it on the screen now. And, well, let's look at some other tweets of other people responding to what he said. So in these, I have 2 more responses to his tweet. And one by Gambit. It says, I got it up on the screen now. Isn't it a bit weird you haven't heard a single person mention? I mean, Belgium just closed their airspace. Another one means it is a crisis. Belgium defense apparatus just had a meeting over the issue. So there's two tweets saying that it is a crisis. What do you guys think? Is it a crisis? Is it not a crisis? Okay, so I have an article here from UK Sky News. It says the UK is deploying, it's up on the screen, UK is deploying specialist RAF teams to defend Belgium from rogue drones. So apparently they're helping them. I'll put a link to the entire article in the description of the video so you can click on it and read the whole article. So at least in the research I've done, at least Belgium is in, I don't know if it's a crisis, but they're very concerned about the drones in the research I've done. And I found like I said, I found that one news article. It's linked below. So apparently, there is some type of crisis with drones. Now, whether they're drones or UAPs or UFOs, I don't know. Because Ross is saying that he doesn't think they're Russian. Now, could they be Russian? I have no idea. And they said they can't stop them. So, I don't know. I don't know if these are UFOs, if these are just new technology. We'll have to wait and see and try to get more information on that. So, I don't have a definite answer one way or the other on them. But apparently, there is a crisis of some sort. So, Ross was not making stuff up as far as I can see. So the next clip in the same episode is about the Tic Tac and the David Fravor incident and how Ross says it's Lockheed Martin, but this commenter saying David Fravor might have said it was a relationship to an underwater object. So let's watch the clip and then we'll talk about it on the other side. Roll the tape.
Sources, the 2004 Tic Tac near San Diego was Lockheed Martin's. However, Commander Fravor said in Lex Friedman's et al. That there was a gigantic structure below the water and some kind of relationship with the Tic Tac. That doesn't add up to the Lockheed theory unless they have reverse engineered an alien submarine. Can you elaborate on that? Thank you very much.
Look, it's a good question. And yes, you're correct. David Fravor did report seeing an object possibly sitting just under the ocean where the Tic Tac was hovering. I don't know if he said that there was a relationship between the Tic Tac and the object under the water, other than the fact that the Tic Tac was hovering above an area of water that looked like it had something underneath it. It would be speculative to suggest that David Fravor was saying that there was a relationship. I don't think he would have any evidence. I don't think he's ever suggested that there was a relationship between that object and the object that he perceived under the water. All I'm saying, and I'll reiterate this, is that sources have told me that the Tic Tac that was seen by David Fravor was being operated or controlled by people associated with Lockheed Martin. And as I've said earlier, we don't know if that means the object was constructed by Lockheed Martin. I actually think that's highly unlikely, or whether it was being operated, for example, psionically by psionics who were in the employ of Lockheed Martin, which I think is more plausible. It also doesn't discount the possibility that the other objects that were being seen in the area by my friend Kevin Day and witnessed by multiple people on the USS Princeton and the USS Nimitz, it doesn't rule out the possibility that those other objects that were being seen at somewhere between 28,000 to 80,000 feet were of non-human origin. I think it's highly implausible that they were all Lockheed Martin objects. What I am told is that that day there was a very stupid blue-on-blue attempt, an attempt to test technology that was in the possession of Lockheed Martin against a carrier battle fleet. And this came about as a result of a conversation I had with somebody who pointed out to me and reiterated to me something I've written about in my book, that when Kevin Day had a conversation with the admiral or the captain on the USS Nimitz, he showed no surprise at all about the incursion by this anomalous object. You have to ask yourself, why?
So there you go. He says his information says that the Tic Tac may not have been created by Lockheed Martin, but it was being controlled psionically on a blue-on-blue attack to see if they could get next to a battle group. So, you guys agree with that? What do you think? Leave some comments. I don't know. Sounds a little fishy to me, but I guess it's possible. I mean, that would have to go to a lot of channels of command to let that happen, to an active testing of a battle group. Experimental, I think that fly through and nobody knew. I just find that a little odd, but I guess it's entirely possible. I don't know. What say you? That's more important than what I think. It's what you think is more important. So let me know down below. And this is just a quick little video. I wanted to jump on this story. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
The Strokeonaut. Finding the truth. The truth has no agenda.